All right, what is going on, guys? Welcome back. Today, we are answering the internet's most asked questions, specifically about relationships. That's what this whole fucking show is about, relationships and mental health and all that. So we're going to get right into it. You guys asked some good questions. Hopefully, I got some good answers. Let's do it. Question number 1. Is it okay to ghost people? Is it okay? Yeah, it's your right. You can cut off anybody you want. Cut off your family, cut off your friends. If we're talking about romantic relationships, should you just stop talking to someone after you expressed interest the day prior? No. I always recommend being honest with people. If for whatever reason you're in a situation where you're not safe, someone's like harassing you or stalking you or something like that, sure, ghost them, block them, do all that. If a relationship has become unhealthy, you don't really need to say like, hey, I never want to speak to you again. I hope I never see your face. And I hope everything terrible happens to you. You can just end it. So yeah, I mean, is it the kindest thing to do? No. But is it always the kindest thing to do to be like, hey, after our encounter, I have no interest in ever seeing your face again. Or speaking to you because you're boring and I don't like you. No, you don't have to do that. So, situational dependent, which is going to be a lot of these. Should you tell someone if you know their partner is cheating? Just had to do this the other day. Yes, you should. Why? Because you would want someone to do it for you. It's the only reason. You would want someone to do it for you. I don't care if it's your brother and you know your brother is cheating on his wife, or if it's your best friend in the world. First off, don't be my friend and try to cheat on your person. Don't do that. Because I will give you a quick choice. You tell him, or I will. Because if we're friends, me and you, that means you've brought me into the circle of you and your family, especially if you have kids. So you're not going to bring me around as a support for you and your family while I know that you're out doing things against your family and then ask me to co-sign it. Not going to do that. Not going to do that. Because why? It's not my character. So like, if that's your character, fine. But you brought me into it. I'm not going to let that fly. So yes, I believe if you know, you should tell somebody. Just because there's a lot of things that go into it. Cheating gets people killed. It gets people hurt. It ruins people's lives. Like, you should absolutely tell someone. What is cheating technically? Well, that's a spectrum of a thing, right? If you're an old school, classy person like me, I play zero shit at all. Zero. If I'm in a relationship with a woman, I don't have female friends. You don't have guy friends. What do we need those for? That's how I operate. If you want to go have male best friends, go do that. You ain't doing it being in a relationship with me. I don't want to sit around and listen to you talk about how you think that guy in the mall is hot or the guy on TV is hot. And I'm not going to sit there and be like, damn, did you see her? Not going to do that. We're going to respect each other around here. That's me. I'm old school. You have people that are in open relationships and they don't consider going out and having sex with another person cheating because that's the life they live. There's a happy medium there. Most people mean, like, what is cheating? Is DMing people or Snapchatting people, is that cheating? I would consider it yes. If you're in a committed monogamous relationship and you know you're in a relationship and you're entertaining someone online, acting like you're being flirty or even kind of fun and coy and cute, like it might lead to something, and we all know that energy. You know if you're emotionally cheating or not. And that's what I've always held it to is within the confines of your relationship, if you know inside, we all know that feeling where you're getting close to a line where you're like, is this getting inappropriate? Like, if you're even close to that line, I would say yes, you're probably at risk for cheating. Next, number 4, do love languages and attachment styles really matter? Love languages, it matters just because it gives you a good roadmap as to like who your partner is and who you are, right? If physical touch and receiving gifts and having your partner shower you with kind affirmations and all these other things, if that really means a lot to you, well, that's good to know. But in the same way, it's also good to know if they are anxiously attached or avoidantly attached. If they're anxiously attached, they might need a lot of physical touch, words of affirmations, maybe even gifts, maybe acts of service, stuff like that. If they're more avoidantly attached, they might be more of the, hey, you do you, I'll do me, and for a small amount of time in our day, we'll do together stuff. I could not rock with somebody like that. I've been with somebody like that, and it's very difficult, where 1 minute they're love bombing you, and the next moment they couldn't care whether or not you're in the room or not because they're perfectly content doing everything on their own. That doesn't rock my fancy at all. So does it matter? Yeah, it matters. I see people use especially attachment styles as excuses. Well, I'm avoiding attachment and this is just how I am. I don't communicate and I shut down when I'm upset. It's like, well, you're also a child then. Because if you acknowledge those behaviors and you're choosing not to do what it takes to work on those things for the relationship you claim you care so much about, you're an immature child who's manipulating people and using big words to make excuses for your poor behavior. All right. How do I know if my partner really does love me? Easy. You don't. You don't. Probably because it changes every single day. Not whether that not they like you, but whether or not they like your ass. I guarantee that changes on a daily basis. So like, how do you know they put in the effort? You know that you found your one true love when they go out of their way to make sure that like they're communicating, you guys are on the same page, you guys know what is expected of each other, not just overall in the relationship. We're not going to cheat, we're not going to flirt, we're not going to be on social media doing these things. Those are obvious for most of us. But like, and this is going to come into one of the questions later, but like, is location sharing okay? That's a big deal in some relationships. Why do you want to check my location? You think I'm doing something? And then the other person could be like, no. The other person could be like, no, I legitimately don't think you're doing anything. But like, if you drive off the highway and you can't answer your phone, I would like to be able to take care of you. Or, you know, so like both mindsets really do exist in real life. And I always love to watch social media where they're like, oh, look at this. My friend shares her location with her boyfriend and he shares her location. Ew. And it's like, it's not your life. Why do you care? Legitimately, why do you care what other people do? If it makes them feel better, then do it. And maybe they are trying to get through something. Maybe somebody did cheat. Maybe someone almost cheated. And they're actually trying to rekindle this and work through the things. And a part of that is like, hey man, I need to know where the fuck you're at. Because you lied to me. You told me you were here and you were actually over here getting fucked up doing X, Y, and Z. You wasn't supposed to be doing that. So if you want me to trust you again, this is what it's going to take. X, Y, and Z. And that could feel like an ultimatum. It could feel like a threat of if you don't do this, I'm going to leave. Hey man, sometimes people have the right after shit's been done to them to go, if you're not willing to put forth this effort, which I'm asking for reassurance right now, then this goes no further. Simple enough. Sometimes we make it way more complicated than that. Do you have to have common interests with your partner? Me and my girlfriend have nothing in common. I think it's important. You're going to find if you don't, more than likely you have someone, at least one of you is an avoidant attached style, because the avoidant attachment is very much like, I need to have my life. I want you to have your life. When we intertwine those, we'll be more on the anxious attachment styles terms because I don't want you in my life if I'm not wanting you there right now. So it's difficult. And we get a lot of cross messages, mixed signals, stuff like that. People are like, oh, I thought we were on the same page. Why don't you want to spend time with me? You know, whatever. So like, do you have to have the same interests? No. Like, I'm a guy. So like, I like golf. I like sports. I like a lot of other shit that the women I've been in relationships with, especially recently, like, do they love golf? No. Do they care about watching every single football game all weekend long? No. Do they care about watching the MMA fights? No. But do they care about like watching my podcast and seeing me create? Yes, they do. Do they like watching me be a father and like see me being a good one? Yes, they do. So it really depends on which hill you're willing to die on. If you're really pissed as a guy that your girl doesn't want to go spend every weekend with you while you play 18 holes and she sits there and freezes her ass off in a golf cart and reads a book because TikTok says that like Golf cart girlfriends are this new thing. Yeah, you can go ahead and enjoy that shit all you want to, but like I can tell you right now, like I don't want to go out with my girl golfing if she doesn't golf. So like if I didn't meet you in that sector and that's not something you already do, I'm not going to force you to come because this is a me thing. Now, should we have we things? Yes. Would it be great if we loved to watch the game together? Yes. Would it be great if we cook dinner together while we watch the game and that's something we do? Yes. Could our common interest just be like, hey, we're complete opposites 99% of the day, but so we stay connected. In the morning, we wake up at 7 in the morning. We have coffee. We read together 2 different books. Or maybe he's watching a podcast and she's reading, but we take time to be in the same room together and figure out what makes us us. That's the only time I think it really matters. All right. Besides cheating, what destroys a relationship? Well, that's really easy. Trust. When you break trust, which is really what cheating is, it's the ultimate form of breaking someone's trust. Hey, I thought we were on the same page here. And then I found out you were texting this person, or you still have this person in your life when you told me you didn't. Or you're doing these things and I can't put up with that. Right? So like addictions, just being untrustworthy in general. If I can't trust you at all, because I've watched you lie to your mom, and I've watched you lie to your friends, and I've watched you lie to your exes, and I've watched you lie to current people in your life, and like I've seen you just be an in general fucking liar, it would reflect more on you that you wanted to be in a relationship with someone like that. So did they cheat? Maybe not. But the more you find someone wants to be dishonest with you, you'll find that they're trying to live the life they actually want to live. And I almost am willing to guarantee that that will end up in cheating. So one way or the other, whether they actually go and like book a stay and like sleep with someone or not all people are that bold. Most people are bold enough to hop on Instagram where they don't think anyone's going to find them and send their, crush or their first love or their whatever and be like, oh, hey, what you been up to? Like, people do that shit all the time. And again, what your spectrum is of what's cheating and what's not. Would it be cheating if you found out your partner fucking sent their ex a DM? It's not cheating, but it's still probably pretty fucked up in the eyes of most relationships, right? So like you could do a lot of different things. You could stop caring about each other. You could stop communicating. You could stop prioritizing each other. You could stop acting like the other person even exists. You could stop listening to them. You could become selfish and life becomes all about what you want and nothing about what they want. All these things ruin relationships, for sure. What is the ideal first date? That's subjective. The only advice I could give you on that one is get to know the person you're going to go on a date with. If it's a first date and you really don't know much about this person, maybe inquire. If you have mutual friends, ask their friends like, hey, do you know what they would possibly like to do? I'm not, encouraging being a fucking creep or anything, but do some social media diving, see what their hobbies and interests are. You can kind of build something off of that. And don't feel the need that you need to like wine and dine and impress to make it successful. Most people just want an honest connection with a good person, and they want to feel like at the end of the night that there might be a chance, right? That this is going to go somewhere. So that's really what most people are looking for early on in dating is there a chance that I'm not wasting my time here, especially as you get older, like in your 30s. When is it too early to get married? What's the soonest someone should? After being married twice, I would not recommend anyone even get engaged until you're like 2 years together. And because 2 years is not that long. It's really not, especially with getting to know somebody and getting to know their quirks and how they operate and what they like and what they don't like. And then after 2 years, you could still have another year and a half long engagement where then you've been together 3.5 years and you could be rock solid. Or you could wait and go 5. What's the soonest? You get married under a year, you're fucking signing yourself up for just a dive bomb. Just promising you that. Is sharing locations toxic? We kind of went over that. Again, if one person cheated and the other didn't, and they're actually trying to fix this relationship, and the one that didn't goes, hey, I don't trust you. And because of what you did last time, and I caught you running around in hotels, or you went home from a bar and said you stayed at your friend Joey's house, but really you got a hotel. Now, if you want this to work, I got you a location 24/7. You want to fucking lie to me, I'm going to catch it. Fuck around if you want to. And that's typically where you get like crimes of passion and domestic violence, is like that person that's given 2 or 3 chances and the person's still stupid enough to get caught. Like, that's typically where you see people get hands put on each other and people going to jail. How should I ask my partner to move in? Pretty simple. I think if you're at that point and you think that you're at a place to cohabitate with someone else, and you think you're ready to not choke them out for, leaving hair in the shower or fucking leaving shit out all over the thing, or you don't like the way they leave their socks on the floor or whatever, you better get all that shit out of the way while you're dating before you move in. Because I've seen plenty of relationships that were fantastic. Move in together, 2 months, it's over. It's a different ball game when you move in with someone. I would say if you spend almost every day together anyway, you're going to sleep together, you're waking up together, you're intermingling, you're pretty much sharing a bathroom, you're sharing a room. I mean, you're essentially moved in together. So if you feel like, hey, I really get upset anytime you still have to leave, well, hey, tell them, hey, I get bummed when you have to leave. Why don't you just move in here? And you don't have to make it this whole like engagement thing of, hey, will you move in with me? Just, hey, man, I really love it when you're here. I hate it when you leave. Why don't we stop this leaving shit? What do you think? Pretty easy. Last one. I hate my girl's friends. What should I do? Oh boy. I think every man could probably attach to this at one point or the other, and I'm sure women you can too. What do you do if you hate your partner's friends? Hate's a strong word. I've had exes whose friends I really did not like, and to the point where I actually refused to like go to dinner with them or be around them after a certain point. I guess it depends. If they're just annoying and they're not your speed, that's one thing. If they're rude, they're bad people, they're all these things, that's a different, and you got to get those people out of your life. So, hey, if you tell them, those are your friends, not mine, I ain't dealing with that because of X, Y, and Z, and they're valid reasons, you got your reasons. Guys, I hope you like this. Battery's about to die. I got to roll. I love you so much.